How are we all? All well, I hope. How are we tonight? Welcome back to the workshop, TF Custom Shaving Brushes. I see Razor's in, Grey Dog's in. Who else is in? Grey Dog, Razor. Morning, Grey Dog. How are you, buddy? All good, I hope. Just let me check and get this volume right for the mic. So I think that's me about there, and then the music should be round about there, I think. How's that sounding, lads? All right? I come out to the shed earlier today. I still hadn't managed to get the mess cleaned up from the previous brush the other night. So when I was out here, I decided that I'd do a bit more to Razor's replacement brush, which I've got on the lathe here in front of me right now. So I've been doing a little bit of work on it. It took a bit of figuring out how I wanted it to look and how I was going to get it to where I needed it to be. But I think I've got it there. I'm relatively happy with it now, and I'm just going to continue on now with it. I've applied CA finish to the top section of the handle a couple of times this afternoon, and I've just sanded it back with the sandpaper grit, so I'm going to hit it with a bit of wet now to bring that up. The bottom part here, where my finger is now, that bottom section, I've still got a little bit more CA to put in there because there's a tiny little surface crack in the burl, even although the burl's stabilised, but there's a tiny crack. I mean, that's just typical of burl. It's just the nature of the burl, and it's, you know, natural. It's how it is. But I'm going to try and fill it with CA so we don't get any little indent line in there. I want the crack to be filled. I mean, I don't mind you seeing the crack, but I want the crack to be filled, and it's just really a surface crack. It's not anything that goes into the timber or anything, and this was well stabilised as well. So far so good with it. It has taken a bit of sussing it out this afternoon, so it's taken a bit of time, but I'd rather put that time into it and get it looking the part, you know. And so far, like I said, I'm quite pleased with it. We'll get a better idea though once I get it. I mean, I've seen it reasonably clear today, but we'll get a better idea once we start now on the wet on this top section. I do have to sand this back a bit, and I will probably have to apply a little bit more CA though. And then when we turn it around, I'll have to do a little bit more work, obviously, on the bottom. Now, I did put my pigment on the inside of the handle here as well, where the knot's going to go, and I have done the edge of the knot as well. So as you can see, I've done around the edge of the knot, and I've also done the base of the knot, right? So, and I've got some pigment here that I might mix in with the epoxy as well when we reset the knot. My only concern at the moment though is that the UV only went in this afternoon. I've had the UV torch on it to cure it, but it might not still be 100% dry. And my only concern is when I turn the handle around to put it in the chuck again, it may get marked. But I'll just have to play that one with Ian and see how it pans out. And if I need to, then I may have to go in and tidy it up again at a later date. But I thought I'd crack on with it. I've got the other part here that came off the handle, so that's still intact. That's where the knot sat, in that section there, and that's still completely intact, and it's still got the Chameleon. If I go to camera 2, it's still got the Chameleon pigment on the inside of the handle. So I'm thinking that I might even be able to cast that with a colour or something like that. I'll wrap some plastic or something around it, and I'll pour some clear resin or a coloured resin or something in there, and I might be able to redo that. But the only problem is this is a bit yucky in where the knot sat. That's the only part that would probably spoil it. But we'll see anyway. If it's waste, it's waste. I can toss it. It's no big deal. I got some new colours. You might have seen, if you have been on my Facebook page, you might have seen I got some new pigment colours the other day as well. So I've got about, how many tubs did I get? 9, about 10 tubs, and these are really vivid coloured ones, these ones, and there's a couple of ghost ones in it, so they're a sort of a blend, like opaly, there's another name for it, another word, I just can't remember what it is now, where you mix 2 or 3 colours together and it gives you that opaly look in it. So and there's a couple of other ones there that are special ones as well, so something to look forward to down the track. All right, let's have a look. Sounds good, yep. Nah, no problems at all, Razor. It's not your problem, mate. It was just the way things panned out. But like I said, it's all for the better anyway, because it makes me get this, you know, spot on now and get it right for other handles as well. So it's no big deal, mate. It's not your concern. It's my concern. So I appreciate you being patient with me and letting me do what I'm doing. So I think you'll see, I mean, you can see there's still a bit of burl in this one. It comes up to about maybe just a bit less, maybe around 8 mil from the top of the handle, and it's just a very, very fine bit in round there that goes into the area where the knot sits. So I think it's going to look quite nice actually. And then it goes down to about, probably about at the very bottom of the handle, at the base, there's probably half timber, half clear resin. So again, we'll see how we go with that once we get it turned around, and if you want to put a coin in it, we can put a coin in it. I might have to just just paint a little bit of pigment or something in the bottom. We'll see how we go. But so far so good, it's looking pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with it. But I'm going to get the wet paper into it straight away now and get started on that. And like I said, hopefully I won't keep you here too late tonight. I may have to stop what I'm doing, depending on how we go. I may have to stop depending on what happens inside the knot area. I mean, I don't have to touch that, it's just when I clamp it with the chuck, that's all. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. I don't want to wreck it at this stage because, you know, it's had a fair bit put into it now. But it is what it is, and what we've got to do is, you know, what we've got to do basically. I mean, we can't cut corners on it, we've got to get it right. So, but I'm fairly pleased with the look that I'm getting off it now. I had it all polished up earlier this afternoon when I was working on it through one set of grits before I applied the CA, and it was looking stunning actually. I'm dying to see it in the daylight now, because it will come into its own, I reckon, in the daylight. And the holographic has given it a nice effect as well, believe it or not. It's really sort of gave it another dimension. Yeah, I'll show you the tubs in close up in the video, so you can see the colours are very, very vivid. So it should be quite nice. And I mean, they're mainly just resin ones, those ones, but you know, you can mix the pearly one in with other colours as well and get quite a nice effect as well. So I'll be playing around with them and do a few more castings just for resin handles, but there's a few nice colours there. I'm pretty keen to see a couple of the colours. They're pretty stunning. So, but I'll just remember me to show you them later on, and I'll show you some, see what you think. And again, these I got these through an agent here in Brisbane, but I think they come from America. I think he gets them in from America. And I mean, they probably all end up coming from China at the end of the day, but yeah, it's very much along the lines of the previous one, Razor. I'll show you the comparison. I'll sit one next to the other in a minute. It's very much along the same lines. If anything, it's maybe just a little bit more slender than the previous one. But I'm very happy with it as far as the shape. And to be honest with you, I actually think the knot suits this handle better than it did the previous one, because it is just a little bit more slender. And when I say slender, it's like it's only a matter of millimeters, you know. But I think the knot suits it better. I sat the knot in it earlier today, and yeah, it just looked more proportionally right. I think the last time the knot, the handle just looked a little bit too chunky. In my opinion, that is. I mean, I know you like the handle, but it just looked a little bit too chunky. Whereas now I think it's got a really nice proportion to it all round. Now I'm just going to give that a little bit of a wipe, especially just on that top edge there. Till I have a look, I need to actually get sandpaper on that lip there as well. It's a little bit rough from the CA applied to the bottom here just a little while ago, so we'll tidy that up as well. But I'll just have a bit of a quick look now. So it's a bit dull again because I've just been sanding it, but once I go through the soft touch pads, that'll pop up again, nice and shiny. And I may have to end up putting more pigment in that knot recess yet, but we'll see how we go. I think I've just added another bit of a look into that handle with doing what I've done here. But I don't want to overdo it, and I don't want to spoil what I've done so far, but it's actually looking quite nice. I do need a little bit more wet in there though. So I might go there. Okay, I'll put that there for now, and I'll get the pads now and I'll just polish up this top surface. I'm not too fussy about the bottom section too much at this particular point in time, because once I reverse it into the other chuck, I can get back to that bottom section okay. I just want to make sure that I get the top section completed, especially up around the very top of the brush. Yeah, so I was going to leave it and just start the brush in tonight's this brush in tonight's stream, but then I thought, oh, there's a lot of work in it, and I had to suss a lot of things out just to make sure that I had the timber placement right and the knot placement right, so that the knot wasn't going to go into the timber at all. And I just had to take my time and get it all right. So I thought, nah, I'll start it and then I'll get it ready for the stream tonight, and that way we can just basically concentrate on the finishing and the turning it around and tidying up the bottom, and then seeing how we go with it, you know. You can't really see too much in it at the moment, but it'll start coming to light very shortly, because once I start getting through these grits in the pads, she should start to come alive in that top section there. So you can see it's starting to get pretty clear there now. But you won't get the benefit, the full benefit, you won't see it properly until I probably take it off the chuck and hold it in my hand and show you the colours and the holographic and how the knot area is looking at the moment. It's looking quite nice and effective as well. Doesn't look, I'm looking at the camera as well as looking at the brush itself, and the camera doesn't really pick up how nice it's actually looking at the moment, but it will in a little while. Still got my little possum mate in the roller door here today. I threw some mothballs up in there today, but I don't know if they're actually working this time. What, the last time he disappeared for a while. You're starting to see it a bit there now. But like I said, the shape and the colour and how the burl's sitting with the pigment and everything, you're not going to see that until, I don't think, until I hold it actually in my hand. So I'll keep going. I mean, it was a 50 by 50 blank that I started with, so it's still a lot wider than my normal handles in width. But I've got that piece, that other piece there. I'll show you. It's sitting next to this in a little tick. Yeah, it's a 30mm rhodium grey dog. I had to cut the, there was still part of the previous handle was still attached to the knot, so I had to cut the timber away, and once I put a couple of cuts into the timber, I was able to actually separate that away from the knot, so there was no damage to the knot at all. It was just basically putting cuts in to weaken the timber to just peel it away, basically, and that worked quite well. Yeah, it's just the sheer pressure of the knot. Because the knots are that dense, it exerted so much pressure on the top of the handle, and what it done is it caused the burl to separate away. But the weak point seemed to be the black acrylic, because what I do is the resin had black acrylic applied to it, and then it was dried off. And then the chameleon pigment was painted on top of the black acrylic. Now, being that they're all acrylic, that to me should have been fine. But anyway, it appeared the weak link seemed to be the black acrylic. So this time now, the timber is stabilised, fully stabilised. for days and days. And then because that darkens the timber, I was able to put the Chameleon pigment directly onto the inside face of or the external of the burl, and so, you know, we should, this time around, we should have much better bond, because the resin does bond better to the stabilised timber. So there we have that. I'm reasonably happy with that now. Yeah, that acrylic seems to be bonded in there now. It just feels a little bit tacky still, but once the epoxy goes in there, it'll everything will harden up anyway. So we've got that there now. So I'm just wondering whether I should, I probably should try and sand a little bit more of that, this edge here now, before I do turn it around. And again, I'm going to have a little bit of an issue with this because it's there's some rough bits on here where the super glue sort of bubbled. But we'll soon sort that out. In fact, I might even go to the coarse for that, the coarser grit, just to take that right out first, and then we can apply more CA if we need to. So this is working fine, just sanding it by hand. I can see where the spots are that need to be taken down. And I'm probably better doing it this way, because then if I do need to touch up the top section as well, I can touch that up now while I'm, before I turn it round, you know. So I've got a large bit here that needs to be taken out. I knew this was going to be a lot of work with this, with the CA and stuff, trying to get the finish that I want to try and achieve on it. I knew it was going to be a fair bit of sanding and a fair bit of work and a bit of CA, and probably having to go over it 2 or 3 times, but it'll be worth it in the end, because I think the brush is going to look quite unique. Yeah, that's smoothing it out nicely now. And then I can go over the whole thing again with the wet and dry, just to tidy any little scratched areas up. Yeah, that's nice. Sorry if I'm not chatting much, guys, but I know there's a fair bit of work in this one, so I just want to get stuck into it. Keep me posted on if the mic drops out or anything as well, guys, because it's the same batteries I'm running on, but I've got 2 full sets of batteries charged, fully charged batteries sitting on the chair here waiting to go, so we'll be good with that. Yeah, let me show you the. So this was the old one, and that's the new one. So let me get them sort of lined up. So there's not a lot of difference in them when you see them there like that. They're pretty much the same. If anything, that's just like I said, just a tiny little bit more slender than this one. But yeah, not a lot of difference between them, to be honest. Size-wise, they're pretty much exactly the same. If anything, this one's just a tiny little touch longer. Just a tiny little touch. But you'll see what I'm saying about when I sit the knot in it. Let me sit the knot in there for you. So see there, and I think once you see that handle in my hand, I think you'll agree that the knot actually looks better in this handle than it did in the last one. I think the other handle looked just a little bit too chunky for it. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy the way it's progressing. I might have to CA this again, but you'll just have to bear with me, guys. It's like I say, this one's just going to be one of those jobs that, I just need to keep doing it and get it right. So it might be a bit slow. That's why I sort of tried to get a lot of this done earlier today, because if I didn't, we would have been here for hours and hours and hours trying to get done. So I'm, kind of glad that I jumped the gun and started on it earlier today. Okay, that's most of that gone. A little bit there to get rid of. And this area is where those little, that little surface crack was, but I think I'm pretty close to having that completely out now as well. Yeah, almost there. And then I think what I'll do is I'll start up the lathe for that rounding part. I want to have a look again, see where we're at, and I can still see some little shinier spots, so we'll keep going. It's getting there though. Okay, that's that. We'll go on to the next grit now and just give it a little bit more of a touch up. Yeah, we'll go over the whole thing again with the pads as well, I think, and the wet paper, just to give it a good all over tidy up. But it's getting there now, and that crack is all but gone. Okay, next grip. I don't know if Brett's going to make it in tonight. He said he might be listening in. He might not get to watch any of the stream tonight. I think because he works with the COVID testing in New South Wales, I think he's working a lot more hours and getting run off his feet. So he may not get in tonight. Or if he might just be listening in if he gets a chance. how you doing, buddy? Yeah, he likes his green, that's for sure. Old Brett. He's 2 brushes left. Sent express post to him today. So he should have them in a couple of days. If not tomorrow. Okay, we've got it a little bit of wet now. I'll just slow it down a bit. Just slow it down a touch. Stick that there for now. Okay, we'll go through the soft touch pads again now. Okay. We should start to get a little bit of a shine on it shortly. Yeah, I'm surprised that they've taken us so long actually. I thought the PNC ones would have been ready a little while ago. I don't know if Sergeant's maybe just been very busy or busy with work or whatever, because he still works full time. Because I think he had all the knots pretty much tied some weeks ago. This is about the second or third time I've sanded this today, so yeah, it takes a bit of work. It's just because of trying to get everything, you know, right, filling cracks. Then you got to go back and sand it all again, putting the pigment in where the knot's going to sit, just to dull that look of the knot sitting there in the clear with the glue, you know. So I'm hoping this time we can get a lot better a look on the top of the handle as well this time. Because I was happy with the last one, but I would have liked to have got the top better anyway, and the where the glue knot was. But I mean, it's just how the glue formed and how it dried. It sort of detracted from the handle, I think. Whereas this one, with what I've done with this, I think I'm going to get a better look in this one. Well, that's where I'm heading for anyway. Yeah, it'll be nice when I get it out of here, Harrell, get it out of the chuck and let you see it side on. It's pretty special. Oh, they'll take just as much time because it's, well, mind you, the burls will be a lot more stable now that they've all been stabilised. So that, from that perspective, it will be a lot better. But they still require a lot of work because, I mean, you've got to get the clarity in them. If the knot's going to be exposed, I'm quite liking the look that I've done with this one, so I might do that with him as well. We'll see how we go, mate. I'm in no rush to do them all. I mean, I'll probably get onto some, I've got to get onto some of Serjan's handles soon. And then I'll get onto more acrylics at some stage, and then I'll use the hybrids just to throw in now and again, just to do something different, you know. Right, let me get rid of that water for a minute. I'll give this a wipe with a bit of methylated spirits, get a clean towel, throw these in the bin. That should be better. The batteries must have just started to die out there, so thanks for that, Razor. We're all good now. Cobbs, how are you, buddy? I'm on the rechargeables now, so we'll see how they go, eh? Now we're getting there, now we're looking the part, aye. Let me just take you back to that other shot. See the clarity in that now? Just got to do the same with the bottom and just put another couple of coats on, and that'll, then it'll just be a case of I'll go back to the wet, we'll do a little bit more wet, and then we'll be ready to turn her around. Much better, much better. Much happier with that. So we'll just do the same on the bottom, and we'll put a couple of coats on both overall. I think my mic might be a little bit too high. Shouldn't be too bad. Right, just a little bit on here now. So now we can start to see that shine. We're getting it there. Just got a little bit more to put on there just to fill the last of that little crack in the burl there. Yep, that's taken shape nicely now. I'm happy with that. Just get a couple more light coats on it, and I'll be really happy. Oh man, Razor, you're going to love this mic when you see the colours I'm seeing in this. It's stunning. I don't know if the camera's picking, no, it's picking up some of it, but not at all. Wait till you see this in the hand, mate. Wait till you see this. We've nailed it. We've nailed it. It's worth it. Yep, just a little bit more on that bottom section to get that crack filled. Might have to go to another tile shortly. In fact, I'll go to one now because I've got a fresh one. I don't want to ruin anything now when we've come this far with it. Thanks for putting that up, Razor. hit the bell, subscribe if you haven't already. Much appreciated. And I'm really thinking I might just go another couple of little light coats, and then I'm thinking that will be us. I mean, it's already had a fair, you know, like I said, this is about the second or third time that I've been through sanding on it today. Just trying to get everything spot on. That's looking pretty good. I'm just trying to see if that little crack, I can see the little crack, but I just can't make up my mind whether it's filled properly or not yet. Like I said, it's just a little surface crack in the burl. I mean, I've got no issues with it separating because, like I said, the burl's been fully stabilised with resin, so I've got no issues there. But I just want to try and make sure that it doesn't sort of show as a defect in the flat finish of the surface, you know. Because we're not really sanding much more now, we'll just be going through the wets just to tidy that up, and then it'll go to the buffer and be buffed. Well, once we turn it around and do whatever else we're going to do, well, do the bottom basically. But I'm loving this. Oh mate, I'm glad I've gone down this path with this handle for you. You deserve it. You deserve it. For being so patient, you deserve this. Brent Jones, how are you, buddy? Is this your first time in, mate, or the first time in the chat? Cool. Right. Man, am I liking this? Woohoo! Oh geez, this is, oh, mate. The colours in this are just phenomenal. Wait till you see this when I get this side on the camera and get the knot set in it. Man. Boy, oh boy. I'm just going to put another couple of just nice final light coats on, and then we'll give it all a wet sand. And I think I'm nearly out of paper towel again, so we may have to do another one. Although I think I'm pretty much there now with coats on that. I think I can just go straight to wet sand now. Yep, I think we'll go to wet sand now, mate, and then it'll be on the buffer, then a final polish up, and I think we'll be we might get this brush finished tonight. Now, how long have we been going? An hour and 17, eh? Okay, so I'll go to the wet now. We'll just give it a nice bit of a quick lick all round. So I'm not going to go too hard, too heavy anywhere. Now it's just a case of just taking any little ridges out on the CA. That's all we're doing. Who else we got in the chat? We've got about 8 in there now. We've got Harrell, we've got Razor, we've got Grey Dog, we've got Brent Jones. Yeah, that's just smoothened all that out now, so there's no little ripples anywhere. Alright, that'll do for the wet sandpaper. I'll just go into the soft touch pads now, and again I'm just going to go very, very lightly. No need to put too much effort into this now. It's just a case of really a very light once over, then we can go to the buffer. Oh sorry, I need to part it off first. I need to turn it around, rechuck, and that's the only concern, is that I'm hoping that the pigment that I've got inside the recess for the knot, I'm just hoping that that's not going to mark up at all. If it does, then I'll have to rectify that, maybe paint some more pigment in there, or but I think we should be okay if I just take my time and careful. See how we go. bit of something underneath the pad. It's gone now though. Yeah, cobs is in there as well. I forgot about cobs. Okay. Yeah, there's a few of those will look quite nice. I mean, they're all going to look nice, I guess, in their own way. They're all going to be different colours, and they're all going to have different effects in them. And but yeah, they should all look nice. I'll maybe show you all, since we've got a couple of newies in. We'll newies in the stream. I might show you all the blanks that I've got. Well, I've got about 4 or 5 blanks here that are all done sort of very similar to this one. That are ready to be turned into handles. I only just finished casting them a stream or two ago, and they're all waiting to be turned into handles. So and they're all different colours, different coloured pigments, different coloured holographic in them, and yeah, so they'll all look very similar to this, but different colours and different effects, so should be quite interesting. Okay, so I'll get rid of the water again now, and I'll just give this a little bit of a dry off. And we'll go back to that shot there now. Just dry this all off. All right, put these in the bin. Excuse me sniffling, it's pretty cool in here tonight. I think the temperature's getting down a fair bit tonight. I think we're experiencing one of our cold nights again. Yeah, that's going to be stunning, mate. Absolutely stunning. Let me continue. I want to see this thing finished now. Hopefully we don't have any issues with this inside here. I'm still a little bit unsure as to whether that's going to mark on the chuck. If it does, then I'll have to redo that part, but I think I can get by with what I've got here now, as far as buffing, etc. So I might turn this round now. Because I'm pretty happy with that all round. You're not going to see it right because it's still not polished up right yet, but you can see the gold. There's reds, there's blues, purples, and the holographic adds another dimension in it as well, you know, like, it's pretty smart. All right, we'll get rid of this chuck. Now this part might set me back a little bit if it marks this holographic in the inside of the recess where that is going to clamp. It may set me back a little bit if it marks, but there's not a lot I can do about it. What I'll do is I'll have to fix it up after if that's the case, which means I won't be able to set the knot in place tonight. But we'll see how we go. You can even see where the knot's going to sit now. You can see how that's changing colour as well. There. So we get a bit of blue and a bit of sort of purpley cyany, a little bit of greenish in it as well. Stunning. All right. Like I said, this is the part that I'm a little bit unsure as to how it's going to go. So if it marks the pigment, it marks it. There's nothing I can really do about it, unfortunately. Hopefully it doesn't. And I've got the pigment on the knot as well. So actually you can see the colour, and you can see the colour better around that top of the handle there now that I've got it in the chuck with the dark behind it. You can see the colour changing better. You're getting the blues and the greens and the red and the gold. All right. Let me get this partied off. Okay. Tiny little bit out of round after rechucking. Yeah, not too bad, a little bit. I might just give this a touch up with the diamond card. So I'll bring it to there. You might, well, you might get to see what I'm doing. So all I'm doing is just touching up that edge, just to sharpen the tool. That should be enough. That burl is so hard, with it being stabilised. There we go. Get rid of that offcut over there. Right, just let me check that I've got the tool height right, tool rest height right, I should say. I've got to take a little bit off the bottom here because it's the burl's that hard that what it was doing was it was pushing the tool away from the bottom of the handle. And I'm getting a lot of, because of the hard and soft, because we've got half resin, half timber, I'm getting a lot of shuddering from it because it's just the nature of the hard and soft. So just take very light cuts to try and take the high spots away. Now decision time, razor. What I'll do is I'll go to the other camera and I'll let you see what it looks like, but just let me get it tidied up first. Still needs to go a little bit more yet, but I just want to check it. Yep, we're starting to get the hollow there now. So I just want to clean it up a little bit more, and then we can come in and sand it to finish it. Okay, the rest of that's going to be good with sanding now. I'm just looking at the timber, I'm getting a few marks coming up in that. And I don't know what it is, whether it's, oh no, I'll leave it just now until I get it on the buffer, and we'll see what happens, because there's a couple here as well. So I may, if it's something drastic, then I may have to resand again. I might get some fresh sandpaper, so we'll put that in the bin. Sorry about the phone ringing. Wife will get that in the house. Alright, just check that again, make sure we're still hollow, which we are. It is what it is, mate. If it's if I'm not happy with it, it'll need to be redone. So it's no big deal. And it's looking so nice, I can tell you. So it'll be a shame if I have to. Will be a shame if I have to go over it again, but providing I can get to all the timber areas, I should be able to, I think, or even on this chuck. I'll change to the other camera and let you see what the bottom looks like. You'll see that there's half, pretty much, well, just a little bit less than half timber, and the rest is the resin. I'll just check that for, yep, we're still hollow. It's that one. 3, 4, that one 5. Okay. So no coin, no coin. I do think the coin would spoil it, to be honest. Okay. Bit of methylated spirits. Another clean towel. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of time to flash off for the methylated spirits. I think we're good. I think we're good. Right. We shall see when we get it to the buffer anyway. If she comes back and she's got little blemishes there, we'll have to have a look at it and see what's what. But looking at that, that's not bad. Might go with the, might just give the mesh pads a little bit as well, I think, on the bottom. then once I've done this, we'll flash it off again with a bit of methylated spirits, and then I'll take it to the buffer. We'll give it a buff up, we'll see what we think, we'll have a better look. And then if she's needs to be reworked, it'll need to be another dye. If I think she's going to be good, we can set the knot. I'm still going to put a bit of CA on the bottom as well, so I'll need to probably go through a couple of the grits again, or the soft touch pads, just to finish off the bottom, because I want that bottom timber in CA as well. So although it's stabilised, but I still want to make sure we've got a good solid seal on it. I mean, the timber's going to be well and truly away from all the water now anyway, because you're not setting acrylic, not in timber. But you're still going to be handling it with wet hands and stuff, but the stabilising would take care of that anyway. But if we put CA, we've got CA over everything as well, that's just going to, you know, add to that, really. Don't want to tip the water over now. So that'll do that. We'll get rid of the water. We'll dry that off. I'm going to make sure it's still hollow. Yes, it is. So we're good there. And I'll get a clean cloth again. And we'll go a bit methylated spirits again. And then we'll rub some CA over the bottom of that nice and lightly to put a nice final seal and finish on it. Then she'll be ready for the buff. Hopefully, and hopefully we don't lose our pigment on the inside of the knot recess when I release the chuck. Hopefully. So she's all nice and clean there. Just make sure it's properly dried and that the methylated spirits is evaporated. How long have we been going? Just under 2 hours, eh? Right, a little bit of CA now on the bottom. Oh, I should fold it the other way because I'm doing CA. Okay, let me go to that shot for you. What do you reckon? Look at that. Woohoo! Aye, look at that. All right, a little bit of CA. Just giving everything a check. Yeah, all good. Slow it down. And I'm going to go back to doing it this way for this, because I don't want to put too much on in one hit and end up bubbling it or getting a rough edge somewhere where I need to re-go sanding again. And again, we'll put a few coats on. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that, but we'll keep going. We'll put a few more coats on it yet. I want it to be nice and well sealed, and I want it to be nice and shiny. Since we're not putting a coin in the bottom, I want it to be nice. You can see it in that one as well now. Let me just try and zoom in on that a bit for you. That's not picking up the chameleon much. I think the head down shot picks up the chameleon better, but that picks up the halo, the holographic I should say. And if I go back to that shot, yeah, that picks up the colour. Well, it's picking up a lot of gold there. It's not picking up the other colours, but I can see other colours in there. But once I get it side on to a camera fairly close up, I think that's when you'll really start to see all the colour. But let me just get this bottom another couple of coats on it. And once I get a couple more coats on it, I'll take it over and buff it up. I'll just drop that music down a little touch, guys. It's probably a little bit too loud. Yeah. Yep, it's looking good, looking good. Another couple of coats, and I think that'll do us. The lucky last. And we're done. So now I'll put the cap back on this if I can find where to put it. So there's that top down shot. You can see there you're getting a lot of the colour coming through it there. You're getting that bright gold at points, and then you're getting the purpley blue, and then you get the, you're getting the green up here. Then you've got the burl, obviously, which is beautiful. And then it just really comes in its own. So I hope this doesn't pull off a lot of the pigment inside the handle with having been clamped up. But that's good. I'm happy. Beautiful. So now it just needs a good polish up on the buff. So I'll go and do that, guys. Actually, there's still a little bit of CA to be done there, so I'm going to have to go in with that again. Sorry, guys. There's a little tiny, again, a little surface crack in the burl, and I'm not happy to leave it like that. I want to make sure we get it filled with CI. Yeah, just keep reminding me, mate. I've got a little bit to do to this one yet. I want to get that CA finished on the bottom, and then I've got to buff it, and then if it all looks okay once I inspect it, then we can set the knot in it, and that'll be that finished. And then I'll show you just remember me to show you the pigments, because these colours are so vibrant, they're going to make some wicked handles, I reckon. And they should do too, because I'm going to show you them. There's, I think it was 10 colours, and that was $300. But they'll go a long way, because I got sort of bigger tubs. Yeah, I'll just keep putting a few coats on this, guys. I just want to try and fill the little surface cracks that are in the burl. It's getting there. Still not quite there yet. It's always harder to fill them on the bottom like this because you're on side on, and then you know you've got to sort of try and do it. You don't want to put too much CA on and then get a rough edge of something over on the side of the handle, because if you do that, then you're back to square one sanding again, you know. So it's best just to take your time. It takes longer as well because the CA soaks into the towel before you're actually getting it all on the handle. Doing it the other way, you get it on the handle and the towel's just being used to wipe it, you know. But doing it this way, the CA is actually soaking into the... I could probably try it like that. Nah, I'll keep going the way I'm going because it's I don't want to make a mess of it now. Like I said, it's never going to come apart or lip water in any way because it's stabilised. So the other way. Okay, I'll give this a wipe off, put that aside, put this away. I'm just trying to work out whether I need to actually give that a sand. I think it's looking pretty good actually. I think I'll get away with the buffer. Just the buffer. Yeah. Okay, cool. Something's in our favour. Right. Hopefully she comes off in one piece again. Yes, lovely. Alright guys, just let me get to my little screen thing here. And I'll go to the buffer, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes guys, so hang on because you're going to get to see this thing at its best. Yeah, that's all good. I reckon this is just going to need that buff, and then when I come back after the buff looking at it, I should be able to set the knot, and I think we're going to be good. So you'll get to see this finished tonight. Okay, I've left the grinder all hooked up because I am going to have to give this bottom a light sand. It's just got too many little rings in it for my liking. You can see it probably there. So I'm just going to put it back on the chuck, and I'm going to give it just a wet sand just to take all the little high spots off. So just let me get you back up on the live here. That'll do it. It's actually looking beautiful, mate. Those little concerns I had about the barrel before, it was just obviously the finish on the barrel, just with the water and the dust and everything. It's actually perfect now. So I'm just going to do the same to the bottom. So I'll get a fresh piece of this paper and I'll give it just a bit of a touch up, just to take the top off all the high ridges. And once that's done, I'll hit it with the wets. That should do that. Now I'll hit it with the 1000 grit just to make sure we're smoothened in. Much better. It's hard to tell when you're in night time as well, and you've got the lights around me are so strong, so it's hard to tell, but I could see it on the just the little light on the grinder on the buffer. I could see that it wasn't quite right, so that's why I wanted to hit it all again. And it doesn't take much, because I mean the finish was fairly flat, but you still, it's amazing, you still end up with just little ridges, little high spots in the CI, and the buff won't take them out. You've got to sand them out. So but it's worth it. It's worth it to just get it right. I wouldn't like to be doing one of these every day of the week though. Jeez, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of work in them. Bloody beautiful though, it really is. See you around, mate. Catch you, buddy. Thanks for dropping in, eh? You'll see the pictures up later on. I'll take a couple of snaps and put them in the put them up on my Facebook page. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. Nearly knocked my water over again. I should get a tray that sits on the bed of the lathe and somehow or another try and lock it on so it can't, I can't knock it over one day. Okay, get rid of the water so I don't spill it, give it a dry off. Oh man, whew. I'll be right back, guys. So just I'll bring up my little screen just in case anybody asks. I'll be right back. And we'll turn me back on, and I'll go to there for when we finish. Now, and if I go to that camera, you'll see the difference in the bottom now. There's no rings there. So I'm not even going to go to that polish this time. I'm just going to go straight to my plastics this time, because I don't think we need anything else on there except plastics. Let's put that away. Get a fresh towel. Yeah, you definitely don't want to, as much as, yeah, it'd be nice to see my maker's mark in it, mate, but I'm sure you'll let everybody know that who made it anyway. But I think the coin would just totally spoil it. So it's just a work of art. It really is. That, not just because I've made it, but it's beautiful. You want to see the colours through this thing. It's incredible. All right, let's give it a bit of a plastic X warm up. We're down to 4, so we've lost a fair few people, but that's all right. Yeah, just go to Super Cheap, or either Super Cheap or what's the other one? Autobahn. Either or, mate. Any of the sort of bigger car accessory places like that will have plastics. It's I'm sure it's a Maguire's. Yeah, Maguire's. So there it is again, if you want to have a look. The new and improved version, Plastex Maguire's. Clear plastic, cleaner and polish. So it cleans as well as polishes. And it must be very, very fine abrasive, because they use it for restoring headlights and stuff as well. Polycarbonate headlights. Boy, oh boy. Okay, I think we're done, guys. I think we're done. So what I'll do is I'll take that out of the chuck. I'll set it aside for now. And I'll take this chuck off and out the way. I'll sit it up there for now. That'll do it. And I can probably zoom that out a little touch again. That's around about where it needs to be for normal filming. And I'll take that out just to give us a little bit more room. Yeah, it's lovely. Okay, we're there with that. We're there with that. That's ready to go. Got my mixing stick. I might just go down to that shot and we'll zoom it out a little bit so you can see what's going on. That should do us. So I'll put a little bit over here. Come on. I know when it's getting cold here, because my epoxy goes hard. Well, not hard, but it's a lot firmer to get it out of the tubes than what it normally is. I should sit it in some hot water for a little while. That softens it up. It's all good, Razor. All good, mate. It's all part of the YouTubing. Just got to clean up every day. Just keep on top. It helps to keep on top of it anyway. Otherwise, it would get, you know, out of hand. So mix the epoxy till it goes sort of white, and then it'll go clearish. I think there's something in there. A little bit there. And you'll see what I've done. If you look inside, let me get this right, you'll see I've actually painted the UV resin in there with the pigment, the colour changing pigment on it. So I've done up the sides, I've done the bottom where the knot's going to go, and I've also done around the bottom of the knot, and I've also done the around the edge of the knot. So that's what's giving us that colour changing effect around the top of the handle. That'll do for that, and then we'll just put whatever we've got left here, and we'll just smear that onto there. And then we go. Now what I'll do is I'll just make sure this is right and that there's no glues anywhere. I don't think there should be. No, we're all good. So I'll show you these pigments that I got while that sets off a little bit, eh? Okay, I'll just sit that up out the way. Boy, that's looking good, I'll tell you, side on, that's, oh, mate. Anyway, let me get this all out the way again now. And I'll show you these colours I got. There's a couple of them that I'm really keen to try. Alright, in no particular order, let me go to that shot. I think we'll get more in that shot there. So this one is called Pure Pearl White. Now that's going to have a lot of, it just looks like white at the moment, but that's actually going to have a lot of other colours in it. It will be a real pearly, oystery type colour. So nothing special to look at, but when it's cast, it should be quite nice. This one will be even better, I reckon, because this one's called Sapphire Ghost Blue, and you can see just even on the container on the inside, you can see some of the colours coming through in it. So obviously it's going to have, you know, purples and blues and that through it, although predominantly it will be that sort of milky whitish colour, but we'll get other colours coming through it as well. So it should look quite nice. Just to keep Brett happy, I thought I'd better get another couple interesting ones for Brett. So this one is called Emerald Green. Now these tubs are, from memory, these tubs, yeah they are, the tubs are clear. So the colour you're seeing is the colour we're going to get. So that's Emerald Green. So that's one of the greens. And then we've got this one, and again, like I said, all the tubs are clear plastic, so the colour you're seeing is the colour we're going to get. So Jungle Green, this one's called. Jungle Green. Should be pretty mean, I reckon. So that should keep Brett happy, because he likes his greens. Then this one is called Diamond Battleship Grey. So this one will be like a real darker grey, but it's going to have a bit of sparkle in it. That's the hence the reason Diamond Battleship Grey. So the little diamondy pieces in it are just going to sparkle and shine light, and then obviously the rest of it will be that battleship grey. So it should, again, should look quite nice. This one, and this will be nice as well, I reckon. It's called Midnight Blue. So it's a really deep, dark blue, but very, very deep. Again, it should look quite nice. Now, these are the ones that I'm liking. Obviously, they'll need to be put with the right colours. But this one is called Liquid Fire. It's not pink. It's sort of like a purpley red. It's an awesome looking colour, but its actual name is called Liquid Fire. So how it's going to come out, I don't really know, but you can see the colour. I'm not sure if it's going to throw other colours when it's mixed up with resin. Hence the name Liquid Fire, or if that's going to be its colour. But either way, it's still going to look fantastic. So yeah, I'm pretty keen to see these mixed up actually. And then this one is called Burple, not purple, it's called Burple. So I think it's a mix between blue and purple, or thereabouts, but again, really, really rich, really, really strong. It's probably showing in the camera, me looking at it, it's probably showing in the camera probably more blue than the purple, but it is a purpley blue colour. But I would say, looking at the tub, it's more purple than blue, but looking in the cameras, it looks more blue. So it's called Burple. So that's one of the other ones I'm pretty keen to see. And then this one here is also another one that's got the diamond sort of sparkle in it as well. And this one is called Diamond Deep Blue Sea. So again, you can see it's a nice, rich, strong, bold blue, but it's going to have a fair bit of sparkle in it too. So, and you can see that's, you know, they've all got different quantities in them because they all go by weight. So some are heavier than others. Pretty much, basically, I think they're all, I mean, I've got the same weight in all of them, but it's just that some of the pigments are different weights. So that's why the tub looks half empty compared to, say, other ones that look a little bit more full. You know, like that one looks more full, whereas that one is half empty, you know. And that's just because of the weights and the different pigments. And then another sort of bluey, purpley colour. This one's called Lux Blue Violet. So again, this one's going to have another sort of different effect in it once it's cast in the resin, and it's called Lux Blue Violet. So we must be going to get a little bit of colour change in that one as well when it's mixed in with the resin, I'd say. So very strong colours, nice colours. I mean, I do have plenty other coloured powders there, but I like the look of these ones, and I just couldn't help myself, so I got these on the weekend. So those 9-10 tubs there, I mean, they'll last for a fair while, but that was $300 for those tubs. It's not cheap, but the good thing about it is you only use a tiny little bit for every, you know, handle. Unless you're doing different colours, then you're using a little bit of all the colours. And again, you can see this one must be a heavy one as well because it's fairly light on. It's about half full with powder, so it must be a fairly heavy one again as well. So, but anyway, you'll get to see some of these being cast, hopefully, down the track. So that's about it for me. I will bring up the brush and let you see the brush again though. They're not still moving, just slightly. Yeah, just slightly, it's starting to set in. But guys, yeah, it's not, see again, now we're in a different angle. I need to find the angles to show the light again, to show the colours again. There's looking in from the bottom. So you can see the bottom's got the colour changing in it as well, underneath the knot. So there's sort of green, and then it goes brown and reddy, goldy colour. There's the barrel. And we come into the sparkle, but the camera and the light, because the light's so strong, the camera's catching a lot of the sparkle in the holographic. But when I take it further back, you can actually start to see the colour more, the colours more. Probably on camera, the headshot one. Let me cut back to that. Yeah, it's hard to get the lights again now to catch the colour. Not sure if you're seeing that colour, but it's very nice. The more you look into the handle, the more colours you see in the handle. And then you've got the holographic running through it, which just gives it another look again. I'm much happier that you can't see the knot as strong now as well. And around the top, we're actually getting the colour changing taking place there as well. Little mark there. Must have had something on my hand, I think. I'll give it another polish with the microfiber inside anyway before I take some photographs. Again, I don't know. I really don't know how the photographs are even going to pick this one up either, because the holographic inside it's probably going to throw the light and make it look totally different. But I'm getting some really nice colours in there. There's your bottom now, so the bottom's all nice and clear and shiny. You're looking into the bottom. The colour around here is fantastic. It's like one of those cars, you know, those cars that have got that chameleon paint on them. Every time you turn it, you're getting different colours showing up in this band around the top now, and it's hidden the knot a lot better. I mean, you can still sort of see the knot very, very slightly, but it's hidden it a lot better this time. I'm much more pleased with that. It was one of the things that I didn't like about the other one, was the seeing all the epoxy, and it had all sort of gone a bit white and cracked and hazy looking, whereas I think this one's going to be a lot nicer. You don't really see an awful lot of the knot, and there's a nice effect. There's a nice effect at the top of the burl here as well, because the burl, it's like three-dimensional. We've got the hole which has got the holographic pigment on it, then we've got the clear resin with a little bit of the holographic in it, and then we've got the start of the burl. So it's like a three-dimensional look at that particular part here. So yeah, very nice, very nice. And the burl's got a lot of, like this part down here is really dark, and then it lightens up in through here. But yeah, she's pretty nice, pretty special. Anyway, let me go back to camera 1 now. I think, oh, wrong side. I keep going to the wrong side to show that. I need to show it that side. So I'm hoping you can see the, yeah, you can see the profile of that this time. I reckon that actually looks nicer than the previous profile. That's what's left of the other handle. You can see there's not a lot of difference between them. This one's slightly, the new one's slightly taller, very, very slightly. It's only a matter of a couple of mil. Size-wise, the handles, there's not a lot of difference. Very, very slight difference, I think. Just very, very slightly. But I think that looks nicer. To me, it looks more proportional. I think the other one just looked a little bit bigger, chunkier, whereas this one's, you know, got a little bit of dust in the knot. It's starting to stick in now. And you've also, what I've done with this one is I've gave this a little bit more play around the knot. Now, it won't affect the loft in this at all. It's not going to affect the feel of this. It's still got plenty backbone in it because it's such a dense knot, but that'll give it a little bit more room for when it swells up, and then you should get to feel that properly. So I'm really pleased with it. Just let me see something here. Sorry about that, fellas. Yeah, so once again, guys, thanks for coming in. I'll take this inside now. I'm going to shut the shut the shed door down. Oh, I thought you might have been able to see that, but not really. Oh, there we go. You can see it there. Yeah, but there we go, lads. Another TF custom shaving brush special. Alright. Once again, guys, thanks for coming in. Been a pleasure having you here. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I'll put a reminder in now. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll put another reminder in. So the next one will be, what's this? This is Tuesday, so Wednesday. It'll be Thursday night. And then we'll be back to Sunday night for the next one, all right? I don't know what I'm doing in those ones yet, I might start on Sir Jan's ones, or I might pull a blank out and just do another blank. I want to do those other holographic ones as well, but I do need to get onto Sir Jan's, so I do have to do a bit of work with Sir Jan's ones as well though. There's a couple of them that I need to, I'm limited with how much material I've got, so I need to put waste blocks and that on them, but that's something I can do offline. Alright, I'm going to shut the shed door down, guys. Thanks for dropping in. It's been good to have you in again. We'll catch you later. Thanks guys. See ya. Ta-ra.